Hey guys, Andrew Osantowski. It's Friday, April 24th, 2020. I did some research because I wanted to know, because I'm always digging into trying to make my model the most effective model possible for betting, and I wanted to determine when is actually best to bet on a fight. Is it when the opening lines hit? Is it somewhere between the open and close? Is it typically towards the closing lines? And just from my experience, I always gathered that it's normally best around close. And out of the 30 MEUTFA model plays for 2019, this is what we got. We got the 30 out of the 30 total fights with the best odds that you could have bet those plays during. 12 of those bets would have been the closing line. 10 of those bets would have been the opening line, and 8 would have been the in-between line, somewhere in between open and close. So you almost have 2/3 of the time. Yeah, actually 2/3 of the time, the best time to bet the fight is sometime after the opening line. And I gotta hold myself back sometimes, because a lot of times I get overeager. I want to bet the fight. I already know who I want in the fight. But at the same time, I beat myself down when I don't get the best line possible. Take for example, with Nate Diaz, UFC 244 in November. I mean, I remember betting it at plus 150. Well, he touched plus 204 at one point. So it just goes to show you that, yeah, I did beat the closing line on that, which was plus 133. But still, I mean, I kick myself when I don't get the best line possible, because that's how you make the most money, is by getting the best line possible. You always want to get the best line for your play. You don't want to be the guy that got the worst line. It's just like when you buy crypto. Do you want to buy it $1, or do you want to buy it $20? You know what I'm saying? You want to get in. You want to get in when it's best. So it just comes down to making more money, man. And it's just it comes down to patience. Patience is a lot of it. You have to be patient. Even if you know who you want to get the best line, sometimes patience pays off, man. Wait for that line to move. I really believe at closing lines, a lot of times the odds get shot up in the direction of the favorite, and you can get better closing lines on the underdogs that you want most of the time. Other times you're going to see the in-between line is going to be the best line, somewhere between open and close, and, during fight week or whatever, the line gets shot up for no apparent reason. And you'd be like, oh my God, that's a crazy line. And sometimes that's the best line to get. Other times, more rarely, it's the opening line, when the opening line is just too high. But normally the opening line is, in my opinion, is set kind of low towards the underdog, especially from bookmakers' perspective. We're going off bookmakers' lines, bookmaker.eu. So, yeah, I found that very interesting. Out of the 30 total fights from last year that the model bet on, the closing line, 12 out of the 30 times the closing line had the best times. 10 out of the 30 times the opening line was the best, and 8 out of the 30 times the in-between line was. So like I said, almost 2/3 of the time, it's better to just wait on a line outside of the opening line. You'll get a better line. And that's the key to making more money. You want to make the most money possible, man. You want to get the best odds out there. And for 2020, what we find is, out of the 5 total plays, obviously MMA's been on a hiatus for 2 months now, but out of the 5 total Model MEUTFA plays, the opening closing lines, and I break down 2022, even though it's only been 5 plays. Out of the 5 plays, none of those times has the opening line been the best line. Out of the 3 out of the 5 times, it's been the in-between line. And two out of the 5 times it's been the closing line. So that just goes to show you, man, that the opening line is typically not the best line, especially from bookmaker, because bookmaker doesn't tend to open the odds. Bookmaker tends to let 5 dimes and Bet Online open the odds, and bookmaker will then open the odds up later that week or a few days later, whatever. So by the times those lines are kind of beat down already, and bookmaker, since they take larger money on the bet, larger bet size, they'll tend to open the line a little lower. Let's say Paul Felder opened plus 130 on 5 dimes, while bookmaker might open Felder plus 120. So you kind of got to wait till, like I said, in between lines or more money comes in on the favorite, or closing lines, man. Closing lines, you're going to see some crazy numbers thrown out there. With that Joanna Jędrzejczyk UFC 248 championship fight with Weili Zhang, I was logged on to bookmaker at the time, and I bet Jędrzejczyk at plus 143 right here, and that line looked like that line looked great. It looked like I got the best of it up until maybe Thursday of fight week, and then more money started coming in on Zhang. And, man, I mean, it was like plus 175. Fight date was plus 195. That's what it closed at. But I was logged on to bookmaker.eu at the time. I mean, just moments before the fight actually took place, because I just wanted to see for myself. And Jędrzejczyk was actually going for plus 205 on there, what I saw. And like I said, the official closing line is plus 195, which is excellent, man. So to know that I bet it at plus 143 when I could have had that fight at plus 195, plus 205, and that fight came down to a split decision. I mean, I would have profited. I would have made money, but I would have lost out on a big payday, guys. I mean, you know, from plus 143 to plus 195, that's a 50-cent line difference, man. That's a 52-cent line difference, and I don't like that, man. When I get the shittier odds, you know, that was because I wasn't patient enough. You know, that's all that is. It's not bookmaker or nothing like that. That's me not betting the fight at the most opportune time. So that's just something I'm looking into, guys. Just trying to give my clients and all that the best perspective. Just like I told my one client, I said, you know, hey, this is my lean for UFC 249 coming up May 9th. This is my lean, but I said I'm not betting the fight right now, so hold off. I'm not betting the fight yet. This is who I like, but I'm not betting it yet because I don't think this is the best line. So we have 2 weeks until May 9th, and like I said, I'll be monitoring the lines closely to see if I can get a great number on that guy sometime between now and then. If I feel like the line gets high enough, I'll bet it. But if not, I'll wait till the closing line and I'll see what I can get. So just letting you guys know that, like I said, the best time to bet a fight, especially a Model MEUTFA play, 2/3 of the time, it's not the opening line. It's either in between or the close. So just keep track of my plays, guys. BetMMA /Osantowski 1987. Thanks, guys. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.